Alright, T7 combat car, tier 2. Unfortunately, tier 2 is a tier that no one really cares about because you can't grind or earn them anymore, so it's kind of just a niche little collector's item that is the only tier 2 that you have access to. But that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today is a ton of BS going on all over World of Tanks at the moment. Clone Guy already hit this up, so I'll be putting a link in the description with his end of the video as well for what he covered over on Wargaming is Gambling Confirmed. He's going over the everything that basically was mentioned that was already brought to me. He went over the Peggy system, which was revamped in 2020. So after they revamped it in 2020, then World of Tanks kind of fell underneath the same exact category for gambling. But since it's before 2020, they don't have to rate it as 18. They're capable of getting away with 12. So kind of a little bit of a loophole based upon age. Along with that, Cryptic Theorist, this guy's an absolute G whenever it comes down to it. This guy has been nothing but help over on our end. Sharing everything, being as transparent as he can. A lot more transparent than Wargaming, which you all know how that goes. So, yeah, like if you guys want to pause this here or go watch Clone Guy's video, you can read over this and make up your mind if he deserved a ban from their Twitch chat. But in my opinion, just like in his opinion, putting currency into the game and getting that same currency out is gambling, in my opinion. He did correct me on this. He did not mean the same currency, but like basically putting in something and then getting something back. But it's also equivalent to, you get your hands on, let's say, one of the war chests from console nowadays. Like, let's say you put 250 gold into the Yule war chest right here, and you get out a camouflage voucher. Yet camouflage vouchers only cost you 200 gold, so now you're missing 50 gold. But also on top of that, you're also getting emblems for the same exact price. So now you're going to come here, continue with voucher, which that one's going to be one of the voucher ones. So I have to go all the way over here to the right side and select a random one. That's another voucher. I got so many emblems, it's not even funny. Currently, there's a silver conversion on this for 160,000 silver rather than the, I believe it's 80 or 90 gold, maybe even 100 gold to be able to equip one of these permanently whenever it's gold coming around. But there's a little bit of an event going on, so once that's gone, I still don't find a emblem voucher being worth 250 gold in the slightest. I think that a couple of boosters need to be put inside of it. If the boxes were redone in a way to where there was more value coming out of them than what there is right now, we might not be having this exact problem, but the Mystic Chest is locked behind a paywall, which is locked behind another paywall. And as Clone Guy mentioned inside his video, yeah, we did a lot of the math on this. If you don't own any of the tanks inside the list, you have a 0.08% chance of getting the exact tank that you want to get your hands on. And if you're willing to spend money to try and get up to it, it is in the range of about $3,000 to obtain every single tank inside that list that they're currently showing off. So usually whenever Christmas hits, they're a lot more, how to say it, giving, unless you're talking about a T7 combat car. T7 combat car is literally a tier 2 light tank that was given away during the first year of the game whenever it first originally came out. Whenever we take a look over here at my T7 combat car, we can take a look at the original year 1 emblems that are on it. And I don't know why the emblems are all the way back over here to the left, but these emblems are only available during the first official year of the game being released. There's a second one, which is a circle with another one inside of it being kind of black, if you guys have seen that one before. But I want to go over some other information that wasn't covered. We're kind of spreading the info out to make it to where we're not being repetitive between all the channels that are going to be jumping inside this. And I got to say, whenever Justicone said that it's war gambling, it's no longer World of Tanks. War gambling, I think, is the exact way we're going to be leaving this now because I don't see it being done any other way. But back over, we have a couple of conversations with Cryptic, talking with Corporal Darren, which is Watt Academy. He only gets like, I don't know, 100 views a video, if that, maybe like 30 views a video anymore, just because he has fallen off whenever it comes down to it. If you guys want to pause this and read it for yourself, be my guest. Whenever it comes down to it, Watt Academy, he's just a normal volunteer. He's just another guy inside the system, but he's also another CC kiss ass that loves to smooch the booty of wargaming so he can get all the rental tanks and everything else for free. Along with that, the Compounders 7, the most recent release that honestly I could not care anymore because I've been putting a lot more time into separate games. For instance, I've been putting a lot more time into grinding out Elite Dangerous because there's an event currently going on for the last Thargoid Titan. So Titan Kahijo is currently exposed and we're capable of dealing damage to him. So I have been putting a lot of work into grinding this out as much as I can. Even putting a lot of time in to collect all the material I need to be able to craft premium grade materials inside the game. That way I'm able to do more damage and maintain my top 5% in the player base for the amount that I've done to Titan Kahijo over on Elite Dangerous, and I've been enjoying it a lot. If you guys want another subject to look up about loot boxes and other things, one thing I can say is look up Elite R&D from Star Trek Online and take a look at how much people would spend money on those just to be able to get their hands on the Jimidar Juggernaut, well actually the Vodwar Juggernaut or the Solobon Cell Ship, for instance. Solobon Cell Ship is not as much as the Jimidar Heavy Escort or the Jimidar, it's a bug ship. And it came with a special perk on the ship that you can use on any of your ships and increase your rapid fire by 3 seconds per critical hit that you got. So you could technically have infinite rapid fire if you set it up correctly. But that has changed quite a bit. I want to go over World of Tanks Discord. Their official Discord. In the past couple of days, they have lost, well, from the 11th to the 13th, they decided to change a ton of rules over on their Discord and update a ton of stuff over on their Discord side of things. For instance, right here, the last update was on 12/11/2024 at 1:16 p.m. And if you were to take a look at all the timestamps and all the other videos, it was the same day Cryptic was talking. It's the same day that everyone's inside their Discord talking about gambling, talking about everything else that's going on. There's been a lot of people upset about what's going on at the moment. Gambling inside World of Tanks Discord is now comparable to I like ranked or revert. You will be banned or timed out for a set amount of time. Combined with that, I'm going to have to read through this myself because I know that they changed the rules, but I haven't read through it. But there's a couple of select words that they decided to use, which, if you're an older gent, for instance, let's say around Blade's age, I guarantee whenever it comes down to flaming somebody, he'll have to question and look up it himself because it's not commonly used unless you're 5 years old and you want to act cool. All right, I read over it real fast. I went over a couple of things. Starting off, a real big question that a lot of people are going to be having is, well, for instance, what does flaming stand for? What does flaming mean? I'm sorry, but I feel a little bit like I'm out of the loop here. What does flaming mean? Seriously, there's nowhere inside here that kind of tells me exactly what it stands out to be, but flaming is kind of a little bit of a kind of toned down, deaf term. While, for instance, if we actually look up what it means online, it just means burning fiercely and emitting flames. They dragged her away from the flaming car. Okay, why is that in the rules? Doesn't make sense that that's got to be the first one on the list. More definitions. Very hot. Flaming June of a bright orange or a red color. The flaming autumn maples of the St. Lawrence River Valley. Passionate or violent. I'm sorry, I can't do this. Used to emphasize expression of annoyance. Okay. Derogatory. Informal. So they take the third definition, high definition, of a gay man. Having a manner or appearance regarded as stereotypical homosexual. Okay, so that's out of the way. What does it mean here? Does it mean that Discord etiquette, you need to be flaming? Don't be flaming. Pull the lady out of the car if she needs to be pulled out of the car. Be a homosexual? Or does it, the term of this here, under the definition, has no value inside here. Yet, they're going to be using this against people because it's kind of a loose term. Okay, like in actual term, and we're not talking about the Wikipedia version of how you talk to people. It is just like you're flaming these people. And then using it inside that kind of gives it a different a different definition. So then it allows them to be a lot looser on ways that they're capable of giving people strikes. And getting back to that note, on the 11th, whenever they originally changed the Discord rules on 12/11/2024, from the 11th to the 13th, not the 14th, Friday the 13th. Kind of funny how it's got to be Friday the 13th that out of nowhere 32 people are suddenly no longer inside that Discord. Now, we cannot confirm that they are banned, they are kicked, or if they left in their own volition. But whenever it comes down to it, with everything that's been going on recently and then the rule changes that have now popped up inside of the Discord, we're left to believe that they were banned or they were kicked. At the very bottom of the rules inside this section, it is a 4-strike count before you are actually banned inside here. So once you have reached 4 strikes, your account will be permanently banned from Discord. You do have first strike, 1-day read-only access, second strike, 3-day read-only access, third strike, 7-day read-only access, fourth strike, permanent ban. Whenever it comes down to it, there are some exceptions to these rules. For instance, death threats, that is an immediate ban. I don't care who you are. You do not do that. Okay, never do that. That is a horrible thing. Along with, if you're being racist, that's a strike. That for me, that's kind of borderline between permanent ban and strike, because I mean, it depends if you're joking around. Like if they're two buddies and you know that they're two buddies and they're giving each other crap. For instance, like I work with a ton of Hispanics. They call me WAP. I call them Wetback, and then we both laugh about it because we're all friends. We all enjoy it. And I actually just went and had some Chinese, actually, what was it, Taiwan food with one of my buddies today. That was enjoyable, and he's Hispanic. We're not racist. We just hate each other equally. That's the best way to do it. Second up on this list, we have trolling. I don't understand why we have flaming and then trolling. Whenever I think of trolling, the only thing that comes to mind is troll face, which is, as of recent, getting abused and really annoying. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here, pop, pop. That's not what I wanted to do. My V is sticky, so it's kind of messed up. We're going to pull this up. And trolling. Trolling is when someone posts or comments online to deliberately upset others. In short, trolling is when someone deliberately tries to upset others online. Okay, well, there's a really cool, simple word for that as well that can fall inside the same category. We're going to do this. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do, but we got history. Here, you can take a look here. Urban, images, Discord, trolling, Space King. Just like how I love Flash Kits, I love their merch, Avenge Me Brother, because they're hilarious. It's kind of funny how it popped up my search history. There's nothing on here anyways. We'd have to go back years for you to find something. But coming back to trolling definition, the other one would be... Never mind. I'm having a freaking brain fart. Harassment. If someone is abusing, insulting, or otherwise harming you on a regular basis. The other thing is that trolling, it is completely useless, and it is another broad term that is being used inside the Discord to potentially strike, ban, or mute people temporarily. Harassment right here is enough of a word that this by itself, this entire statement, harassment or defamatory remarks, covers both flaming and trolling. This tells you that whenever it comes down to the English language, whoever wrote the rules here does not understand what they mean. Because you already have harassment and defamatory remarks right here. Profanity can also fall under defamatory remarks. Inappropriate language, which can also fall under defamatory remarks. Or, abbreviations therefore. Personal abuse, attacks, harassment direct towards other members of the community, which then again falls under harassment once again. Quite literally, harassment is all you need for like half of these, but for whatever reason, they have to emphasize everything that they do over here to try and justify anything, or they can just select some random section inside this, and it's like, well, you violated 2.1. Yeah, 2.1. You're in violation of 2.1. So it's like, okay, which one am I in violation? You're in violation of flaming. If they ever told me that, I'd be like, can you please give me the dictionary definition of this and not the internet slang definition of this? Because I'm sorry, I feel like a plebeian and an illiterate whenever I'm thinking about it at the moment, but it is what it is. And I am going to start pulling out my hair. I'm happy I have a hat on, but I mean, I gotta say, they make me feel special whenever I read this. As of recent bug reports, skin changes in its armor massively. Yeah, see this, they're already talking about that. This is 20 minutes ago. I talked about it, what, 3 days ago? Bonus codes, game discussion, wrong one, feedback and suggestions. This is more of a trash bin than it is anything else whenever it comes down to it. We're going to go on recently active gallery, date posted. I would like to do top viewed. So yeah, World War II classic game mode. People have been talking about wanting to get a classic version. The MBD 70 ATGM. If we keep scrolling down, once upon a time, there used to be a T249 right here. Let's set a petition to ban the T249 from World War II. Coming back up to rules, further down here, there was one. I'm going to find it real quick, and then I'm going to cover that. One of the most recent ones that was used that someone was talking about, that they actually did get tagged with this, or they putting up a petition about the T249 originally before the other one took off, was creating a thread or post for the sole purpose of causing unrest inside the community, causing a disagreement in threads such as picking fights, making off-topic posts, or insulting others, making non-constructive posts and posts with non-constructive tactics, posting fad, what the heck is fad, statements such as first or in before the lock thread, and then bumping. What does bumping mean inside this context? I'm on Reddit. I know what it means. I'm just asking. Like, there's no definition, abbreviation here that tells you exactly what it means. But as of recent, creating threads or posts for the sole purpose of causing unrest in the community is the topic of revert, or the controversial topics of, nerf the AVRE, or remove the Tyrann, or keep Cold War with Cold War, because World War II players don't want to deal with that absolute BS from Cold War coming into World War II. Tyrann was already enough. It was annoying. We had to deal with it anyways. We were stuck, and it was enough to make us a little bit upset whenever it came down to it. So yeah, lots of fun stuff whenever it comes down to it. But at the moment, whenever I look at the Discord here and we come back down to game feedback and updates, Frostbite season, Winterfest, Vigilant, Black Edition, people are already talking about it here. 191 downvotes immediately just because no one likes it. And then the feedback suggestion, and then game update feedback. Inside my opinion, these two categories are considered the trash bin for wargaming. They do not pay attention inside there. The only people that you see talking inside there would be Watt Academy, Max Chaos, a couple of other guys. But in terms, nothing is ever actually done whenever you look inside these categories, just because they have no value to wargaming unless it aligns with their own personal vision that they have with inside the game. So that's kind of where I sit at with it. But with the way that the rules have been restructured and adding in a couple little teeny beady pieces in a couple of spots, it has changed it to where they can now ban you for simply saying, I think it's gambling, in my opinion. There's your first strike. If you say it again, it's going to lead to a second strike. Thing is, you said in your opinion. You weren't harassing anybody. You weren't being toxic. You weren't being a dick. You were simply just saying, in my opinion. This is where I stand. So, where I stand, where Clone Guy stands, where Just a Cone stands, we all have different points on the way that we look at it. I don't think wargaming is going to take a step at it against us at all, whatever comes down to it. I don't think that we're going to need to stop and say, like, oh no, I'm worried about my account. Oh no, I'm scared. I'm not scared in the slightest. My account is worth so much money. It's a dumb thing to ban me. And if they do, they'll be getting a letter from my lawyer asking for the reasons why. And this video will also be provided to my lawyer as well. So, I mean, that it is what it is. To me, this is a large investment that I've been investing into since the release of the game. And I've put a lot of time into it. But as of recent, I'm not investing any money into it because I no longer support what they are doing. If you guys do not like what is currently going on with the entire gambling system and everything else, I do believe it is gambling. In my own opinion, I believe it is gambling. The fact that they had to up it from Peggy 7 to Peggy 12, and the fact that they fall behind the 2020 mark of the entire thing, which means that they made the game and found their own personal loophole that they were capable of using to not actually make the game Peggy 18. They don't need to make it Peggy 18 because there's absolutely no point to them doing it. And I keep on doing hand gestures, yet they're outside the camera view. So I just realized that myself because I can see myself right there. Anyways, you guys, don't spend money on the game if you do not like what's going on. Or let's go on a, rather than saying boycott, we're going on strike. I'm probably going to go on strike until probably the end of November. Depending on what they do, or if anything else decides to change, or if they decide bring back the other war chests because there was absolutely no reason to remove them in the first place, or anything else. But whatever comes down to it, the Discord right now is a complete joke. The people inside of it that are running it currently, well, all I can do is laugh on the inside. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go back to playing my Elite Dangerous and grinding out a little bit more of that Thargoid War Combat, but at the moment I'm actually dead-eyeing my E5 just a little bit. I'm kind of thinking about putting a couple of matches inside this because I sat down and I thought to myself, you know, if a wargaming employee does want to reach out to me and you do want to have a little bit of a conversation, I may have been a dick because I am a dick. Whenever it comes down to it. You guys have ripped my filter out, completely tore it out. It is gone. But that doesn't mean I think you're a bad person. That doesn't mean that I want to sit down and use everything against you. For instance, heat resistance, I may have said a couple things in the last video, and it's true. It still stands at this moment. I don't give a shit. But at the moment, if you want to have a conversation, I'm a human being. I'm willing to have a conversation. While there are other people that have tried to talk to me in very specific ways where I've blown up on them and I've went out my own way to do my own little thing. For instance, I have got a lot of dirt on a lot of people on this computer with damn near 5,000 hours of audio recordings, and then I'd actually have to check the screenshot count, but it's somewhere in the range of 2,000 plus screenshots between developers and people inside the community that are, let's just say, they don't shine very brightly. But I am not a person that wants to go out and, you know, put a target on someone's back. But whenever it comes down to it, that's just messed up. You know, it's like if it goes and gets out of hand, I'll do something about it. But so far it's been pretty tame, kind of. There's a few of them that are kind of like, man, I'm kind of looking to expose a couple of people. But it is what it is. I've kind of shifted my content a little bit differently compared to normal. I've been going different ways just because for me, playing the game, I'll play the game if I enjoy the game. I plan on teaming up with Clone Guy every single Friday from now on, just to be able to team up and have some fun inside of those live streams because they're pretty enjoyable as long as you can chill out and have some fun with them. Anyways, guys, thank you for jumping in. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Seriously, leave a comment. If you guys want to have a little bit of a discussion inside there, I'm willing to have a conversation with you, even if it's like 2-hour delayed replies. Anyways, till next time, take it easy. See you in the next one.